for all intents and purposes, there is technically not time. There's technically not time. There's technically not physical space. However, to interact in this environment, these are mechanisms that we have to deal with because they just are. They simply are a portion of our quote unquote reality. And that's the practical application of it. But to understand, we only have this moment right now. We can think to our past, we can think to our future. However, there's no way of actually accessing those moments except in our mind. Because right now, in this suspended state of animation, if you will, we are in the moment of now. And that's all we've ever had the ability to be in. We can think back to when we were 4 years old, 5 years old, yet right now, in this moment of now, is no different than that moment of now, other than the fact we are convinced that we've had a sequential experience to get us to where we are in this very second of our life. What we have to do, though, is understand that the moment of now is where we project and springboard into our next moment of now and the following moment of now. This is why it becomes vital to harness what we're focusing upon, what we're feeling, and what we're physically doing. A lot of things that are going on in people's experiences are stemming from their past. They are constantly reflecting upon their past primarily. And of course, there's also the worry of the future, what's going to happen tomorrow. So we're kind of dividing our time and we're leaving the moment of now out of the equation, and we're worrying. 1 minute we're worrying about what happened 5 days ago. The next minute we're worrying about what we're going to be doing next week. This is where it becomes extremely important to quiet the mind. If the mind cannot be quieted at will, then we will have an extremely difficult point in being able to move forward and create in the manner that we choose, because the mind that is running rampant consistently is going to have issues and problems with not recognizing the power that is existing right now in this moment for them. This first element brings in a lot of things to the table, and we have to learn to release our past. We have to learn to forgive our past. The key to, enjoying a present, aware moment of now is releasing the past and forgiving the past. If we have a hard time forgiving our past, and there's certain issues that we just cannot come to terms with, then that's when it's important to release it and not allow it to become the filter that we use to process experiences in this moment. Some people will have an experience with a person that several years ago, that anytime they have something happen right now that reminds them of that person, their moment of now becomes colored by the experiences they used to have. The techniques, it can be about meditating. The techniques can be about consciously making decisions to think and process information differently. We have to step into this a moment of now from many different angles, whatever works for each of us. For some of us, that could be meditation, and I think meditation is a fantastic tool for doing that, because that quiets the mind enough to help us to realize what we should feel like as frequently as possible, even when we're not meditating. As we move throughout our day, it provides us a practice sensation of quieting external stimulus and pull within ourselves and be able to recognize the observer, the viewer, the source within ourselves that is in each moment, that is suspended in this state of being where all our power resides. When we have what I call runaway mind syndrome and rampant thoughts that are constantly bouncing all over the place, we are not single-minded and focused enough to be able to move on in the deliberate, intentional creation of our reality. So understanding that, I think, and understanding how our power is all right in this moment to be able to project into the next moment and the next moment and the next moment is crucial to being able to move forward with the deliberate, intentional creation of our reality. And this is an element that is not addressed. And I feel that this is why some people are having problems with the law of attraction, because they continue to use their launching point for going into their future with the same ideas, the same thought processes. Even though they have new ideas about what they want, they're colored by their past experiences, and we have to be able to release those experiences, and we have to be able to change the way we have felt about those experiences. And that's a personal journey that we each have to take. You have to identify, okay, in certain moments throughout the day, if you're feeling negative emotion about something, honestly analyze that. Don't kind of just say, oh, well, I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I'm just going to feel it and whatever. We have to actually be proactive in understanding why we're feeling certain feelings and emotions. And okay, was I feeling this way because of the way I was treated at such and such time in my life? And each time we do that, we can make connections. Once we make those connections, we can break that response within our mind, within our thought processes, if we honestly dive in there and be able to forgive the person within our mind, forgive the experience, appreciate the fact that we made it through that experience, and it was a stepping stone process of getting to where we are right now in this moment. We have to learn to recognize our past as being a culminating effect of creating the individual that we are and where we are right now. While there may be things about ourselves that we're not exactly pleased with, we still have made it to this point, and we have to appreciate the fact that our awareness is right here within this moment, because that is, again, where our power is at. If we want to make changes, even if it's things that we're not happy about within ourselves, all we have to work with is right now in this moment. And if it takes going back to be able to release those past injustices, however we want to look at it. And we have to also realize and recognize, and that's why I do these podcasts as a building process, that what we're viewing as an injustice just is. I talk about on my site, on my blogs, that there's not technically a right or a wrong out there. We can take that and feel it as strongly as we want to at our core, but the universe is not making judgment out there. There's not somebody external out there. The universe is not making judgments. There's not a deity that's telling, that's got a rule book that says, okay, so-and-so did this, and that's just screwed up that they did that. There's not anything that's doing that except for ourselves. And when we understand we have the power, and that's why it's so important to recognize that we are that God source energy. We are the ones that are interpreting this information. We are the ones that are laying judgment upon individuals and upon ourselves. And we have the power to also forgive. If we deny our responsibility, if we deny and defer our power to what we think of as a higher power beyond ourselves out there, and if we continue to let our brains run on automatic pilot, then we end up repeating similar processes and not moving outside of the bounds of disempowerment. We neglect to step into the awareness of now each time we do those things, and to really be able to be powerful, fantastic, creative, amazing gods that we are in these life experiences. We have to recognize that we must let go of our past. We must free ourselves. We must break that bondage, break the chains. Again, whether it's through relinquishing, whether it's through forgiveness, we have to take that journey. And that's why this is a big step. This is one of the, I feel, biggest steps that we can ever apply when it comes to understanding what we're doing in the subject matter of the law of attraction, in the subject matter that's being put out there. And this is something that's being neglected. It's not being recognized. And we can visualize, we can meditate, we can write down our dreams, we can put them up on the wall, we can do all of that stuff. But until we get to a point, and this should pretty much be the first thing we do, until we forgive our past and learn how we are going to start being deliberate creators from this moment of now and start processing information differently and working with our emotions to tune ourselves to a higher vibrational state of being, then all of those other things are just going to be colored by the way we continue to think the same thought processes we've always thought. Changing our thought processes is vital, and the way we do that is stepping into the awareness of now. Now, a lot of people, as they listen to this, may be thinking, won't my attention to what's in the now only continue to create more of what's happening right now? It can be confusing, and I understand where, we could have a little bit of a problem interpreting that. However, staying present in the now moment of awareness doesn't mean you're sending intentions out into the universe about wanting more of what you're currently observing. The way I'm talking about staying present, it means quieting the rampant chatter which is occurring for 99% of the population, thousands if not hundreds of thousands of times each day. It's about becoming aware of how many different places and locations you're diverting your attention to. And in that process, you're neglecting your current moment. Let's say you are using your current moment to set forth an intention that you are in love with, that you're thrilled about, that you're hoping is going to manifest. And in that moment, you're not worrying about the past.